Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me today in the Locker Room. I'm Alan Locher. My next two guests played the mother and daughter duo of Carmen and Pilar Santos on the CBS daytime drama Guiding Light. Saundra Santiago is well known to television audiences for her role as Gina Calabrese on the hit series Miami Vice and Tony Soprano's next-door neighbor, Jeannie Cusimano, from the HBO hit The Sopranos. Saundra has danced with Al Pacino in Carlito's Way, mothered Rosario Dawson in 25th Hour, and appeared in numerous indies, including The House That Jack Built with Guiding Light's E.J. Bonilla. Saundra made her Broadway debut in A View from a Bridge and starred in the Tony Award-winning musical Nine. She continues to perform on Broadway and off, and even toured the country as Eva Perón in Evita. She joined Guiding Light in 1999 and also appeared on One Life to Live, not once, but twice. She has appeared in primetime on Damages, Blue Bloods, Gotham, True Detective, Gang Related, and she continues to work nonstop in movies, primetime television, and on stage. Paula Garces is a Colombian-American actress and producer who has starred in the hit primetime shows such as The Shield, Defying Gravity, and Warehouse 13. She is currently reprising her role as Jenny Martinez on Netflix original hit comedy series On My Block and is making her directorial debut on one episode this season. Her new movie Aftermath premieres also on Netflix today. Her TV credits include All My Children, TNT's Major Crimes, The Sopranos, Law & Order SVU, CSI Miami, The Good Wife, and one of my favorites, Devious Maids. She is best known for her starring roles in films like Dangerous Minds, Clock Stoppers, Marcy X, and the cult classic hit Harold and Kumar. Paula is also the brainchild of the very popular Latina comic book superhero, The World of Aluna, which she voiced as an avatar to millions of gaming fans, and has taken Aluna to headline her own video game for Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, and Steam, which is now available under the title Aluna, Sentinel of the Shards. It is my distinct pleasure to welcome them both to the Locker Room, Saundra Santiago and Paula Garces. I apologize. My phone rang in the middle of it, so it threw me off, and I apologize.
My dog was barking, and I had to run over there. And anyway, hola.
It's so good to see you both.
Hi, Alan. So long time no see, and I'm so fond of both of you. And Saundra, my God, it's been years. I can't believe time flies.
I think the last time we saw each other was we ran into each other at an audition, and it was for the Maids. Remember?
Devious
That's
Maids?
Right. Devious Maids.
I'm trying. Okay, sorry. I was sitting. I don't even remember what part I was auditioning for, but you were there. And we were like, ah, you know. And I went in there, and I told the producers, my daughter's out there. My daughter for 4 years or 2 years, whatever.
Do you two remember meeting for the first time at Guiding Light?
I do. I remember. I think my first memory of it was a really, really early rehearsal, and they had said, well, Saundra Santiago is playing your mom, and you guys are going to rehearse this morning for some of your first scenes. And I had not put two and two together that she was like the Saundra Santiago from Miami Vice. And to me, I mean, she knows this, but to me, her on Miami Vice, I mean, like, that was like some of the reason why I wanted to be an actor, was watching her every week.
You weren't even born yet. You weren't.
Oh no! Yes, I was. and I remember like her coming in, and I totally fanned out. Like I was like, "Oh my God, that's her!" Like they were like, "Duh, she's playing your mom." I'm like, "No, that's the hot chick from my."
And you know, I was so thrilled because you so beautiful, so impressionable, so young and hot. And I thought, what a great addition to our family. And I remember when I first read the script. Did I read the script, or I remember getting the script and you know, they never told me anything. They didn't say I was going to get a daughter. So the first time I knew that was in the script. I went, oh, it was a script prior, the week prior. And I said, oh, so I have a daughter now? And yes. I went, wow. And Paulie and I looked at each other and we're going, well, that's good. We're growing. You know?
Right. That's right. I mean, Guiding Light, I have like a love-hate relationship with that show. I mean, obviously everything about Sandy was love and a lot of support, but my God, I mean, I felt like I was going to have a heart attack every single day on that show. And I remember being just such a young,
because of
naive,
the amount of work.
just the amount of work. And since Saundra and I were the first actors to have those roles, and we were introducing those roles, I mean, I'm not speaking for Saundra, but for myself, I remember like every single time I was on air, it was not only like dialogue explaining what my character is doing, but also who my character is. So it's like, it was like so much dialogue, because of course you have to remind the audience that you're a new character and what your character is and who she is, and hinting at what you're supposed to be doing, plus your relationship with the other actors. So it was a lot of work. It was overwhelming at times. I remember like going, I don't think I can do this, thinking I was a horrible actor every day on the show. Like so many things. And I was also very young, very naive, but I had a lot of support. I did have a lot of support, like all the actors that I had to really work with, including obviously Saundra. They took very good care of me.
Yeah, we would go over our lines as much as we had to. And we never had problems. You and I never had problems.
No.
And I remember, and you're right, it is the most stressful job ever. The most stressful.
It really is.
Not only are you just saying pages of dialogue, but a lot of it is repetitive.
Yes.
It's like the lines you said the day before.
Right.
So when you go over these other lines, which are slightly different, you're like, but I just said that. I think I just said that. Why do I have to keep saying this? This is crazy.
It's so interesting what Paula said, because I was doing a show with, I think, some folks talking about, it might have been All My Children and Susan Lucci when she started, about the repetitive, because they didn't know who those characters were when you first start. Right. Guiding Light has characters who've been there forever. They don't need to repeat because we know their history. But for you guys, a whole new family. So that's probably why that was done that way. And I'm sure, like, you know, the pages and pages. I mean, you go to work on a Tuesday, you go home Tuesday night and learn Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
And for Saundra and I mean, unfortunately, a lot of Saundra's scenes, and I say unfortunately, they were with me, and I was the new character. Well, I'm going to explain. I was the new character. So the way it worked is, since I was the new Jack, right, of the show, they would make me rehearse first, but then make me wait the whole day. Do you remember this, Saundra?
Yeah,
we would be up last to shoot our scenes, because of course the people who were there before us, and they deserve it. I mean, they were there on the show forever. They got first dibs, right? And so we learned those politics, and Saundra and I would try to like navigate those politics. And also remember, we had another layer, if I may say this, Saundra. We were the first Latino family on a soap opera ever. So yes, we were.
It never dawned on me, because
it did on me.
I know, and I'm glad, because you're the younger generation. You were a whole younger generation coming up. For me, I I had played all kinds of
Sure.
ethnic people, you know, Italian, Greek, Portuguese, you know, and I never approached our storyline as a Latino family. I approached it as a family. And
Right.
granted, we had problems.
Well,
Oh, just a few.
well, it was important to me because I was like, okay, it is kind of ridiculous that at the time we were the first Latino family ever on an American soap opera. Because to me, it was always like, Latinos, we know a lot about novelas. Like that is, you know, soap operas are our jam, basically, right?
Right.
But I knew that there was a level of importance because once we broke that, I mean, as soon as we were on Guiding Light and we started appearing, and it was obvious that the audience was responding, all my children got on it. All my children had a Latino family, they were alive, and so I kind of felt like that pressure of like, wow, we're the first, and we better make this work, and I better be good. So I always, Guiding Light to me was, it was high pressure, but also pressure that I had put on myself to be really good and to represent and make sure that we snuck in some Spanish. And yeah, we were the mafia sort of family. So I know we struggled with that. We were like, but okay, why do we have to be like the bad guys or whatever?
Right?
But then
Yeah.
they started giving us layers, though. I mean, I think people started really connecting with us as a family, like you said.
And we pushed the Latin aspect. I mean,
Yeah.
Paula, we did this.
Look at
That's
that.
right.
We did.
I remember when we did it, you were on the cover and there were some of us in the middle.
You were
Yes.
correct. But
Paula.
yes, and we did with you, Saundra. You did something with David Fumero, I believe.
Yes, One Life to Live.
And I think that was TV Guide for
TV Guide? Yeah.
I think. I can't remember, but
yeah, David. Yeah. I love David. He's a sweetheart.
So Saundra, Paula, did you screen test for Guiding Light?
So yeah, I went through there was an audition where there was like, I want to say 100 girls there. Wow. And then I had a callback that I was very excited about, and then there was like 50 girls. And I was like, oh, this isn't a callback. And then after that there was like another call. But I was excited about that because it was like a third callback, I would get paid for it. So for me back then, it was all about, I really needed a job. I was waitressing like in 3 different places. I was working in nightclubs. I had my daughter already. I was already a mom at the time, and I was single. And I was like, I really needed this job. So this third callback, even getting paid for that, was like exciting to me. And then I had to screen test privately for Paul Rausch, and then I had a chemistry read with my brother and with Bill. Yeah, with Ryan Merriman, I had a
Ryan Brown,
Ryan Brown, sorry, and then somehow I got it, but I feel like I jumped through hoops, like literally. I could dance. Oh yeah.
One-on-one with Paul Rausch. What do you remember about that? Were you nervous?
It was intense because he made me do the scene.
Was he doing this with his cigar?
Yeah, yes, he was. He was smoking. Yeah. He was looking at papers, and I was thinking like, oh, he does not like dig me at all. He's like not even paying attention to me. And then he made me do it like 4 times. I remember I had like 2 scenes, and it was kind of weird because there was like a reader there, but it wasn't like an actor kind of, and it was kind of like, it was very deadpan, the read, and my scenes, I had to like cry and be very passionate, and you know, and I don't know, somehow the tears came down, and I think that's what got him, because he really liked the fact that I could cry on cue. I heard later on.
I remember him telling me, wait till you meet your daughter. He said she's gorgeous and she's great.
Wow.
So he knew what he was doing. You know, we have to give him a lot of credit because
he introduced the Santos family.
Yes, he did.
He was kind of ahead of the the game. I mean, not the game, but the curve in Latino being representing on TV, because there weren't that many Latinos on TV.
Not at all.
Remember, and
Not
you know,
at
when I started on Vice, I think I was the only Latina on television.
You were. And
but I didn't even think about that. I just thought about doing the character, who the character was. And that's what I thought about Carmen Santos. I know I didn't want to do soap opera, but when I went in for Paul, I didn't have to screen test or anything.
No.
And he was very, very, he listened very, you know, I said, so what kind of character? I mean, she's a mob, you know.
That's an understatement.
Mobs, you know, mobsters. He says, you know, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. And he was smoking a cigar. And I knew they were Cubans. And I said, so what kind of Cuban is that? And he laughed. And there, you know, and then here I am meeting Paulie, you know, and here we are. And then I loved when they brought you on, because I had hope for this storyline that it would branch out into other elements, that we'd go legit. I remember there were scenes when I had to say, we're going to go legit, you know, or something like that. You know, I'm not trying to convince Paul, it's Danny, to be nicer to me. You know.
There weren't just, you know, you three with Paul. There was Mick Santos and Tony Santos and Father Ray. I mean, they really expanded your family.
Well, I tried to get him a husband. You know, I kept saying, we got to bring my husband in. It'll be good. And I was throwing names around, like Michael. Oh my God, he's a wonderful actor. How can I? He's.
It's okay.
What's he from?
Okay, you know the movie Flashdance. Michael.
Yes.
Let's see if I can look it up.
Michael. He's
somebody will tell me in a second.
All the time. He's a wonderful.
Michael Norrie.
Ooh, that would have been great.
Right?
That was a good idea.
Yeah.
I said, you know, he's a friend of mine. I think I can talk him into it. And he said he's going to ask for too much money. I said, well, you don't know that yet. Well, I mean, yeah, he's probably going to ask for money. You know, you just.
Right. Sometimes people ask for it, but they want to work.
Right. And he wasn't working. He was in the middle. You know, he's working a lot now because he's older. You know how actors go through different phases of their age, and how parts are more available at this age than at that age. And then it grows like that. So I think he would have done it, but I don't know if the studio was going to pay him, and they were afraid.
Well, Jill Laurie Hurst, you know, who is in the writer's office, says that Paul loved you ladies. So she knows. And Paula Garces is not the only one who loved you on Miami Vice, Saundra. A lot of the fans are saying loved you on Vice. Loved you on Vice.
Well, thank you, Saundra, for being good on Guiding Light. Because had you bombed on Guiding Light, I wouldn't have had a job at the time.
You would have been working. I have no doubt. And I'm so impressed with your savviness.
So smart, right?
You are so savvy. You created your own character.
Her own superhero, Aluna.
That's incredible. I'm just so proud of you. And you're also very savvy with social media, which I'm not, because I'm too old for that now. I don't know how to put myself through that. But, you're like all over the place in the series. And, you know, I know you're are you living in LA now?
So I live on both coasts. I have a place in New York, and then I just bought a place here in LA, and we are renovating it as we speak.
Congratulations.
So, thank you. Yeah, I'm sorry? You're
still married to the nice Puerto Rican guy?
I am. am. How can
and 2 children now.
I know.
I have 2
Right?
kids now. Yeah, Saundra was always amazing to my daughter. I used
I
to bring my
remember
daughter
what- I
sometimes
remember
to the
me-
studio.
Yes, I remember meeting Sky, and I cannot believe she just turned 29.
Yes.
No.
Can you guys, because 29 really is 30, let's say it, right? So
I mean,
can you
yeah.
guys believe I have a 30-year-old? It's
No,
insane.
And you look 30 yourself.
you do.
You look
Appreciate that, but wow, it's I'm hanging in there. I'm hanging.
more. You're doing more than hanging in. You're a doll.
And you have a son. So are either of them showing signs of following mom?
So my daughter dabbled a little bit, but she's more behind the scenes. She likes to produce and she likes to direct. But my son is definitely someone that I think is gonna end up being in front of the camera. And he likes to he likes to make jokes and tell stories, and he wants it on social media, and he follows all these YouTubers, and I think he likes that. I know Saundra. Saundra goes, oh, I know. I know. But it's like, when you have kids, I think the best thing you can do is just support whatever dream they have and and try to guide them. But they got to do it on their own, whatever little hookup I can do, I'll try. But it's this business is hard. It's hard.
Well,
Speaking
of, yeah, go ahead, Saundra.
No, speaking of, your mother was very supportive of you.
Yes.
I remember. How is she doing?
So my mom is doing great. She's living in New York City. She sometimes goes down to Colombia because we have a lot of family in Colombia. And she lives a fabulous life. She's retired. But yeah, you're absolutely right. It was my mom's idea for me to become an actor because I was just wild and going crazy in my teens. And at the time, we lived in Spanish Harlem, and Spanish Harlem was a little bit, it wasn't that great at the time. And so in order for her to keep me busy, she thought, oh, the arts. And so acting was one of these things that she thought, you're a great actor in your real life. let's see if you can make some money in front of the camera. So her idea worked. Her idea did make me some money. I have a nice living because of it. I was able to raise a child on my own for a while. I got married and we have our own businesses because of it. But yeah, acting saved my life, and guiding light is one of these jobs that really saved my life. I had a test for another soap opera, All My Children, that I had bombed really badly before I tested against Ricky Martin of all people.
Oh my goodness.
And it was Kelly Ripa who got the job. And I was devastated because I really thought I had that one in the bag. I thought I had given, and it was said that I looked too young opposite Ricky Martin and that the chemistry wasn't right. And I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? I gave it my all to Menudo, right? And and I was devastated, and I had to go back to waitressing and doing the 3 jobs. And so when Guiding Light came along, I really took that audition as do or die. It was either I get this job or it's just going to be horrible for a while, And I got it. So here we are.
That's amazing. Saundra, remind me what prompted, because that was going to be my question. How did you get into acting, Paula? And Saundra, remind me for you, who or what influenced?
Well, it's funny. I was sitting here on Saturday doing the Sopranos podcast. Michael Imperioli and Steve Sciarretta have a Sopranos.
Love it. Yeah.
And it's on you. You can get it. You can see it, watch it on YouTube. And they've interviewed everybody, even David Chase.
Not me.
Well,
I'm the Sopranos.
I'm going to suggest. I will.
A couple of episodes.
I'll text the guys and say, hey, you forgot about Paula Garces.
Thank you. I would love that.
And because this is their 72nd. I think I was the 72nd. Believe me, I wasn't really. I was very long in the cast list too. But they asked me that same question. And, you know, I'm not ashamed to say how old I am. I'm 64. And, you know, so this goes way back, right?
Fantastic.
I have to remember, you know, it's so I was a nice Catholic girl, right? A real nice Catholic girl living in the Bronx. We moved to Florida, still a nice girl. I became a cheerleader. I was the homecoming queen, but I was never, I mean, I was a big fan of movies and even television, but mostly movies. Like I used to watch the Academy Awards religiously. And so it, you know, in the back of my mind, I had this little dream, like, oh, I'd love to do that. I think I could do that. That song looks like so much fun, you know, all these people just, you know, creating a different role and not being yourself, being able to play somebody else. And so I got a scholarship to U of M, and I was doing special education. I was going to be a therapist, a psychiatrist, believe it or not. And I was in all these social study classes, special ed, all that. And then, as I say, some idiot came up to me. I was on a bench on the campus, a Cuban, and he says, and I thought he was sort of trying to hit on me, but he was he was serious. He says, listen, I'm in the directing program at the theater department, and you're perfect for this part I need to cast. I said, well, I'm not, what do you do? I'm not an actress. What do you mean? He says, don't worry about that. He said, don't worry, you're perfect. I want you to do this part. I said, well, so I went home and I said, Dad, and it was secretive because if my mom had found out, forget about it. She would have died, you know. She, you know, being an actor was in her eyes more like being a prostitute or something. So there's no way that was going to happen with her. So then Dad said, try it, Sandy, try it, you know.
I love it's the dad. Like
it's
usually the mom and the dad's like, no. I love that it's your dad. Like,
because I think he's kind of a closet actor. He told funny stories. He was very
like it.
So so I said, okay. So I said, okay, I'll do it. What did I get myself into? It was the thing was called The Pupil. And it was by Eugene Ionescu, which is a very classic play.
Yeah.
Very difficult. I had to learn 1 million lines. I had to do my studies. I had to hide it from my mother. And
oh my God.
Next thing I know, I'm hooked. You know, I did the play. The professor said, you got to be an actor. You're an actress. You're an actress. So little by little, I got more and more serious, you know, and it was a good school. It was Ray Liotta. I did a few shows with Ray Liotta, Stephen Bauer, another Latino who did very well. Who else? And Andy wasn't in the program, but he was around, Andy Garcia, and it was just a really good program. And then I went to SMU for 2 more years to do more classical study. And then I made my way to New York. But I was very lucky because I had an agent in Dallas, and they sent me on a movie, an independent feature, directed by a very well-known producer, Martin Giroux. And I played a character named Mariquita. And she's from this old classic play, a novel called The Awakening of Edna. Anyway, it's a small part. I did a great job. I got my SAG card in 1981. And then I did my auditions at Juilliard, which is a long story. I'm not going to go into it, but we all had to audition, and 3 minutes of an audition. And I did Googie Gomez. I don't know if you were familiar with Guki Gomez from The Ritz,
No.
the play The Ritz by Terrence McNally. And it was very funny. And I remember thinking, I know I'm doing a stereotypical part, but I have to be funny, because that's the one thing that will get these people, because it was so serious. You know, people were doing Shakespeare and Moliere and Shaw. And I said, let me do something completely out there. And I got an agent. And then one thing led to another. I got A View from the Bridge like within a year and a half. And I was waitressing too, Paula. I was a singing waitress on the
I love that. Our fans are asking, you still sing, Saundra? You sang when we did the Guiding Light Christmas.
Yeah.
You still sing.
Yeah, you know, I practice every week. I by myself here, and you know, if something comes up, I got to be kind of ready. So yeah, I don't want to lose my chops.
She's fabulous. I saw her at your one-woman show. It was like a cabaret.
Yeah.
And it was just, she was like, when she invited me, she was like, you know, it's this little thing, and I sing a couple of my favorite songs. And, you know, I have this boyfriend, and he kind of like plays a little bit in the back. And I'm like, all right, sure. Because you guys weren't married yet.
We weren't married. No, we were not married.
She wasn't married to her husband yet.
Conga player, the percussionist.
Yeah. So
your cabaret was fabulous.
It was. I go, and it's like a big deal. It's like, you know, and I'm sitting there in my little table, and then she's like, "So, do you think he's cute? It's that guy," and blah blah blah. And I'm like, "Oh my God, he's so hot." Yes. No wonder you're.
Remember when I tried to hook you up with my friend's son?
You were playing matchmaker?
No, not really. I sat them together.
He hated me. He hated me. He did not like me too much. No.
Oh, no. You don't even know. He was very smitten with you. Oh yeah.
I remember it differently, but no, I remember.
He got drunk. Handily, he got so drunk.
He did get drunk. He did get drunk. But her husband to be, I was like, that guy is so hot, Saundra. That's definitely where you should definitely be doing that. Like, that's definitely, we got to take care of that.
He's out there.
And look how many years later they're still together.
I remember being like super shocked, because it wasn't really well known, well, not to me at least, that you were singing and that you had this beautiful voice, and that this was something, I don't know, for some reason, like I was completely shocked at the voice that came out of your mouth. And then I was like, a few songs, it was beautiful. It was like a whole set. And then I realized like you even had an album and like all these things. And like, I was just like, wow. It was like, and then I kept thinking Guiding Light is missing on this. Like, how do we get my mom to sing on the show?
I tried to talk them into doing a whole, I said, you know, there's so many singers on the show. We should do a show where everybody gets to sing something, even you know, like, they should have done it. It would have been so fantastic. You know, they do that on episodics now. It would have been so, I mean, it wouldn't have cost that much. No. I don't think. You know,
no, I don't think so. I don't think so. And there were, you know, it's so funny that you said that there were a lot of singers on the show. There was a lot of actors that really like sang, like, you know, me, I pretend. but there were singers.
I mean, who would?
So what do you remember?
What do you mean
about this?
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Wow, Saundra.
We had a good time. We had a good time doing that shoot.
Because you killed Hunt Block.
That's right.
I was really mad when they killed them all.
She was furious, and I was very excited because I was like, "Ooh, I got to be really evil, like really bad." But Saundra was really upset because please remind me of the fabulous
Hunt.
actor
Hunt.
Hunt Block.
He was so good. Remember his sense of humor, and he was the one that, because I really confessed a lot to him. Like I would tell him, like, oh my God, I can't remember anything today, and I'm gonna be a disaster, and they're gonna be so mad at me. And he used to be like, relax. And I think he used to like drink a little something on the side and be like,
You know what? I bet
it's fine.
He had a
never even looked at his
refrigerator.
lines. Like he was just one of these people that like
He could learn them like that.
I loved Hunt.
nothing.
I talk to him once in a while.
You do tell him. I have
Yeah.
such fond memories of him, like just telling me, just like relax. They're not gonna fire you. Like, don't worry about it. We'll take our time. Like I remember him going.
But they fired him.
But they fired him.
I never understood that. I never understood why they fired him, because I know that he had trouble with our great producer, Jesus. That's why, you know, when you get this age, you're trained.
I don't know that.
Oh, I didn't know that he was a little, that they did had like a rocky relationship. I didn't know that either.
Yes, Hunt told me that.
Gotcha.
He's been trying to get me off this show for a year now. I go, but why? Why can't you just? Because Hunt egged him on, you know. Hunt
Sure.
Oh, are you talking about Paul?
Yes.
Oh.
And I go, why are you egging him on? I you know, that we were doing a scene once, and then he had to stop, and then he made a big fuss. I said, see, this is the kind of shit that he doesn't like. So, you know, don't do that. I mean, let's just do it and go home. I mean,
right.
Now let's, you can handle it. It's not like he's taking your manlyhood away. He's, you know, it's just, anyway. I was very upset, and it was so emotional because the story was so dark. You know, he tries
really dark.
Yes, really dark.
I'm
the
supposed
fans,
to believe
the
that
fans are saying they loved you and Hunt together, Carmen and Hunt
together. We were good together.
Carmen and Ben, yeah.
I mean, I loved seeing your work with him, and then when I heard that I was gonna get to work with him, I was like so excited, because I was like, ooh, that's because he's the type of actor that I really enjoyed working with, because there was a sense of like surprise and excitement, yes. and obviously that bad boy kind of rebel, and yes. I really enjoyed some of the scenes, because I really, when Guiding Light was on, I was so insecure that I didn't really like watching myself at all. I didn't like my physical appearance at the time, which is ridiculous, because I watch it now and I'm like, oh my God, I was such a babe. You know? Why did I like? But you know, I had all the typical things that a young actress suffers from, which is usually like they feel they're too fat or too skinny, or what, anything with the physical appearance is just like a lot of issues, right? And then also like I had issues with my accent and my speaking English the right way, whatever. And then like all these insecurities that were stupid, because now when I watch back, I've watched a couple of things that I've been able to get. It was really good, like for the circumstances and for the amount of work and words that we had to say. And some of the stuff that I did watch were the things that I had to do with Hunt, and all of the things, the conversations that him and I had beforehand, and all of the instincts that I thought I was gonna play upon with him worked. Yes. So I was actually really shocked when he wasn't around anymore, because even though I was part of that plot on screen, right? I had no power behind the.
No, I didn't either.
I was part of that plot. I was kind of upset as well, because I just thought, wow, what a fabulous actor. Like this is the kind of actor that's exciting to watch on a soap, because it's not like your typical, it's not your typical soap, you know, guy.
Well, you know,
and go ahead.
I was just going to say, you know, when I said the phone rang at the start of the show, it was this young man who was trying to stop by to say hello to you
my
today.
God. Oh my God.
Ryan wanted to stop by and say hello, but something at home came up, so he couldn't make it. But he sends his love to both of you.
That would have been a fabulous surprise. Oh my God. Yes.
Where is he?
He actually just moved home to Texas. His son also getting up there is about to go off to college.
Okay.
So he's going to school, I think, near where his family lives in Texas. So
sure,
he and for a lot of people, he had been living in New York. He's become a fabulous photographer.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, he's a fabulous photographer, and he had been here through the pandemic, and I think that's been hard on everybody. But now that his son's going off to school, he's moving closer to home.
I can't even wow. I can't even. He's a dad and his son is going off to school. Like, so many memories are just like flushing in my head. Ryan was an amazing support to me. Like, he was a fabulous person. Like, personally, he was really, really good to me and really, really nice. And just like, he was always like so like I remember him being like really organized and like such a good boy. And I was the one that was like all over the place. Like, I feel like I was a mess back then, but I had like all these angels around me. Like, Saundra was a great, now hearing that she was maybe supposed to be like a psychiatrist or a psychologist or a therapist of some kind. I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. And I'm glad I listened to a lot of her advice, because it was sound advice,
So, you both also had a brother and a son who wanted to say hello.
Oh! Oh my God! I knew it. If you didn't come on, I would have been pissed at you.
First of all, why do you look the same? Why do you look the same?
Paul Anthony Stewart, everybody. Paul Anthony Stewart.
Isn't it creepy that he still looks the same?
He looks so good.
It's not fair.
Oh my God, I'm fine. Okay, I was gonna get to him because I confess everything to this guy, all my troubles, everything that I was going through, and he just thought I was like the craziest person ever, but would always like just give me the best hugs. That's what I remember.
Really? I don't remember any of that.
You gave me such good advice.
She's younger than us, so she has better memory. I
don't remember you being a mess and having troubles.
I don't either.
Really? I just remember you as being just like the sweetest soul. I loved you so much and still do. It's so good to see your face. Oh my God.
You all look just
my God, you were so cute.
You were gorgeous. Gorgeous.
And you should see that.
He's like the one and only actor too I truly like hit on.
I
did.
Until you realize that.
I hit on him so much, and he was like, "Oh,
I didn't know that."
Yes, all the time. And he was like, I don't think he thought I was. Maybe he thought I was serious, but was just like putting me down lightly. But I was always hitting on him, and he was like, "Oh, you're so darling. No, you're so cute.
You're so darling. You're barking up the wrong tree.
You're barking up the wrong tree, kiddo."
I do remember you guys going out for margaritas together. Am I right about that?
I tried everything. I tried to get him drunk. I tried to get him everything.
Well,
everything. It was like.
That might have worked.
It didn't work.
You did talk about my butt a lot. I remember you did. You really had a thing for my butt.
So inappropriate. I would have been so fired. HR would have been like on me.
Those were different days.
Now that would have been very interesting, because when we did our scenes together, they said it was we looked too sexy together, and the idea of you guys having a crush and then being on screen, that would have been really, really scandalous. Mother daughter hitting on her son.
But that's what was happening. That was what was happening behind the scenes.
Sounds like great TV. Sounds like great TV.
Sounds like great TV. Paulie, what do you remember about working opposite these two?
I look like I'm in a fog or something. Oh, that's a little better.
Yeah, that's
there you go.
You still look beautiful, but yeah,
oh my God, gorgeous.
The light.
He's got a rough life.
I know.
I mean, where are you? You're like in paradise. Look at
that's
this
his property.
And I'm supposed to go visit him, and I haven't really done it yet, but I will. He's in a beautiful. He has a compound.
Look at that.
That's fun.
This is an estate. Wow.
That is beautiful property.
This is my house.
Oh, it looks beautiful, Paul.
Wow.
This is
fantastic.
It's just my little slice of paradise up here, so I don't go completely insane. You know.
I love it.
How are your chickens?
Oh, the chicken. Well, actually, we lost a chicken. We lost a chicken.
Oh.
Yeah, you know, that's nature. That's life. A fox got her.
Oh, wow. Man.
Yeah, and then as soon as I'm done talking to you guys, we have to go expand our bee condo because the bees are really happy, and we have to give them another
another level.
Yeah, another level. Yeah.
Paulie, what do you remember working opposite these two?
What do I remember? Oh God, I feel like we just had so much fun. I mean, we were given the craziest shit to do all the time. So just, you know, we would read the scripts and be like, are you kidding me? We have to seriously do this. And somehow we just managed to make it fun. And I guess people, even in the most dramatic, crazy scenes, we were able to, I don't know, laugh about it and have a good time doing it.
Yeah.
You know, we're close.
We all worked well together. It's like we were a real close unit. Yeah. And we knew, you know, okay, I'm going to say it. You guys don't have to say it, but you know.
Mom's going to say it, everybody.
No, but there was a lot of jealousy at the studio amongst families. Why? Why should I say that?
No, I mean,
no, you could.
Everybody, you could.
And they were kind of upset that our family was kind of taking off, and it was not easy. You know, we had a lot of passive aggressive
behavior.
You know, a lot of passive aggressive attitude, but so that I'm sorry to say that, but that's the truth. And it brought us together.
You say whatever you want. That was so long ago. It was so long ago. It was another lifetime, you know?
It was many lifetimes ago. But
go ahead, Paula.
No, please do. Please.
No. It was nothing. So really.
No. Maybe it's not meant to be said. So
let's move on. Now we want to hear it. Go right ahead.
No, that all you know, what I remember is having these actors around me that were really supportive, that obviously I had a lot of leadway with what I was saying and how honest I was being, hence the hitting on Paul and all of these other things. But like, I felt supported enough as far as like with my family and the actors that would come in and out of our family unit. I mean, yeah, you know, sometimes I think in any job or in any show, there's politics and there's different things that you have to navigate. But I was honestly a little bit preoccupied with just being
with my butt, apparently.
Yeah. That and again, just like being like, all I remember is like being this young actor on this like show that had been running forever and that had a legacy and had an audience and a fan base that was really involved and very vocal.
Yeah.
And it was like, you know, and I had a lot of firsts on the show. Like I remember when I was first casted, they were like, "Oh, you get a shopping spree. You know, we're gonna give you like a whole new wardrobe." And
Yeah,
I remember going into Fifth Avenue, and I think it was like Bergdorf's, and that was my first time at that store, you know, and like having a personal shopper, and I was just like, "Wow, this is amazing! I made it! I'm a star! This is the way actresses are supposed," you know. So I had a lot of firsts on the show, which is my point, and I am super glad that I got to share it with these two, you know, some of these firsts, like going to the daytime awards, you know, for the Emmys.
So much fun.
We were so lucky.
So much fun.
We were lucky to all have each other. We were a really close group of actors and family. That was a mosquito. And you know, yeah, we were just really lucky to have each other. We really
yeah, George, you know, and what happened?
She got booted. She'll come back.
Yeah, it was, and I don't mean to negate the you know.
No, you're not. No, you're not, Mama. You're not.
No,
you know,
you're not a.
That's like we became closer because of this kind of underlying, the Santos family, and you know the fans really loved us.
There
you are.
Well, not everyone loved us, you know, not everyone, but that's okay. You know, that's why you have a show. You have a show with many different storylines, many different characters. There's something for everybody. You know,
there's something for everybody.
Yeah, as Paula said, there's politics everywhere, you know, and navigating that is a part of the job also.
Smile, everybody. Now that Paul's here, we'll take a picture. 1, 2. Okay. Perfect. Paulie, thank you so much.
I love you.
Go.
No, I have to go. No,
he's a fan.
Mama, I see you all the time. I wanted to see my Paula.
Okay, all right. Yeah, okay.
Well, we need to reconnect, and if I'm in the East Coast soon, I need an invitation.
You have an open invitation anytime.
Please.
I would love to see you. Yes. Stay in touch. All right. I love you, ladies. I love you too, Alan.
Thank you, Paulie.
All right.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Oh,
what an amazing surprise!
Oh, you didn't know? I didn't know either, but I kind of thought that.
I wished it. I was like, I'm not going to say anything about him yet because I hope I could say it to his face because he was just so awesome with me. You know, I feel like my introduction scene on Guiding Light, if I'm correct, was with him first.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yeah, I go into this nightclub. And I remember they were trying to be very, what I remember about shooting that particular scene is that the director that day was trying to really confine our blocking. And Paul and I was like, that is not real at all. If a brother and sister haven't seen each other for a long time, they like hug each other and they spin each other. And so we did the move anyway, and they loved it. And we were like, oh, thank God we went against the grain. Because now that when I rewatched that scene, it was so cool. He like, I say his name, I go, Danny. And then I hug him and he spins me around and the camera catches my face just as I'm really hugging him. And you could tell like, oh, I really love this guy, but you don't know who I am yet. And then that's when
Millennium Nightclub. Millennium.
That's right. And his wife, they're like separated. She mistakes me for like this, you know, new girlfriend vixen type thing. And it's like, and that was
his wife.
And it was with Paul Benedetti, and it was with Paul and Joy Lenz, and it was a great scene. And I remember going like, yay, I did it.
Speaking of Paulo, it was his birthday yesterday.
I wished him a happy birthday. I wished him a happy birthday on Facebook.
a lot of fans are asking also, and we cannot forget the late great Miriam Cologne as Grandma Santos.
Yeah.
So awesome.
Yeah, no. She was. You know, the last time I saw Miriam, I was doing that off-Broadway Glass Menagerie. I was playing Amanda Wingfield.
I saw you do that with my husband.
You did. You came. And I bless you for doing that. It was, and she came opening night. She came opening night, and she, you know, she's like this little,
yeah,
and I was towering over, and she says, come here. She says, you, I can't believe it. This is amazing. No Latina has ever done this role the way you have done it. And she was just such a force. She says, I want, you have to do it again. You have to do it again. And she was in my face, you know, and I thought, I can't believe this incredible performer who was in movies, you know, who worked opposite Marlon Brando, you know, is giving me this rush of enthusiasm for, you know, because it's a hard part. And she was there. And then I never saw her again after that. And I think about a year after, it was when she passed away.
Well, you did her accent, because I could hear her in my head.
I know, me
yes.
too. So it was really cool.
Yeah.
Face, you know. And I have pictures with her that night, and it meant so much to me, because Latinos don't get to play parts like that, because, you know, people go, well, Tennessee Williams didn't write that role for a Latina to play. But like I said, I don't follow the rules. I don't want to follow.
Well, Paula, I know that Saundra mentioned this earlier. Please tell me, you know, about Aluna and how you came up.
Yeah, I want to know too.
This is really, I mean, bravo to you for creating the first Latina superhero character.
Thank you. You know, back in 2008, I was able to go to Comic-Con for the first time as a guest. I was doing like a reboot of Knight Rider. I was doing The Shield, and I was also doing Harold and Kumar. So I as an actress, I was well received, and I was like, wow, what is this like place where everybody gets dressed up and they recite lines from their favorite TV shows and comic books. But very quickly I realized, like, yeah, there was a lack of representation as far as female leads, and specifically for Latinas. And there were a lot of Latinos, a lot of, you know, African American, Asians, others spending a lot of money on things that I didn't think were representing at all, you know, or that were inclusive in any way. And so I went home, and then instead of, you know, complaining about it, a lot of people that love me were like, just create something. And so naively, I created a comic book first.
No, it's amazing. It's not naive at all. It's just brilliant.
It was really difficult. It was like many nights of like, how am I going to do this? I know nothing about this process. But, you know, you learn and you become passionate about it. And, you know, 12 years later, here we are. We have 8 books to date. I have a graphic novel. She did really well on an online video game that existed a couple of years back. And so from then, I knew that she should have her own video game and headline her own video game. And so now she's on Nintendo Switch and Steam and doing really well. Soon to come out on PlayStation and Xbox. And it's Aluna.
And it's your voice, right?
It's my voice. It's my voice, inspired a little bit with my likeliness, because in the beginning, you know, I was like, well, if I'm going to do a Latina superhero, it might as well be something like me, or like an exaggeration of a version of myself, of what I wish I could do, right? And so we did, and it stuck. And then, so yeah, I do the voice. I have a lot to say as far as like story and weapons and skins and what you should be doing. And so we it's been a lot of hard work. It's one of these projects that's been like more than 12 years in the making, but you know, it's a total reaction to what the audience wants. So every time I came out with something, the audience responded, and I responded with something else. And so that's how it's been growing. And so now I'm just trying to develop her into a TV show or a movie.
Wow.
And that you know, my dreams are never ending. I keep dreaming.
Well, you should be really proud. That's really amazing.
I'm very excited. You know, I got the chance after 32 years of being a SAG actor. Can you believe that, Saundra? 32 years in the business as a SAG actor. And this was the first time that I got an opportunity to direct an episode of television. And I absolutely loved it. I'm
Wow.
obsessed with directing.
Which episode?
Really?
Which episode? Season?
So so season 4, I'm not sure when it drops, but I have a feeling maybe sometime in September on Netflix of On My Block. It's season 4,
Right.
and it's episode 2. So if you guys are watching season 4 of On My Block on Netflix, maybe starting this fall, if you highlight episode 2 or like something about it, please say it, because I directed it, and it would be a big help if people said
really
they like that
awesome.
director.
So when how many cameras did you use? Like, was it indoors, outdoors? What?
So indoor, outdoor, we have 2, sometimes 3 cameras when they let us be fancy enough. I, of course, went in there asking for all the toys, and then the line producer was like, "Oh no, honey, that's not, I wanted the techno crane and all of that." And then he was like, no, babe, this is what you got to make it work with this. And so I think I did a good job. I'm actually really excited about it. I'm very excited about it.
Is there someone you had been shadowing or watching?
Yes. So I shadowed the showrunner of the show. Her name is Lauren Unurick, and she writes, she directs the show. She always directs the first and the last episode of every season. So I had shadowed her. I shadowed another director. His name is Ryan Shiraki, who does a lot of television. And then just very recently, I got a chance to shadow Billy Gearhart on SWAT for CBS for 2 episodes. Because of COVID, I could only do the stuff on Zoom, but it was a lot of prep, a lot of second unit action stuff. And I had worked with Sean Ryan, that creator and that showrunner on The Shield, so I knew that I had to be on point and had all my homework done. Because he did, he put me on the spot a couple of times, which I appreciated that, because he wanted to see if I was paying attention. Thank God I answered correctly, or so I was told. So maybe, maybe I'll be directing SWAT very soon. And you know what? I'm not going to say maybe. I'll be directing SWAT very soon, or something like it, hopefully on one of the big networks.
Well, hopefully you and Mama get to work. Hopefully you and Mama here get to work together.
If ever I had the power to cast,
I know.
That she's on that shortlist.
Well, at this point, I'm the grandma now.
No.
But
I so many cool, interesting parts, and it doesn't have to be the grandma. It could be other things.
In LA, I know there's a lot more.
Saundra, you just went to Sopranos Con. How was that?
Oh my God. It was insane. It was great. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. There were a lot of, it wasn't just Sopranos. It was called MobCon. So there were all these wonderful actors there from mob movies. So
Speaking of you, I saw a picture of you and Annabella Sciorra.
Yes, Annabella was there.
I absolutely adore her. I got to play opposite her in a movie called The Maid's Room. Yes. And if you ever get a chance to watch it, she's absolutely fabulous. It's on Hulu, I believe, or pretty much all the streamers. And it's called The Maid's Room, and it's a psychological thriller. And when I was told that I was gonna be working opposite her and Bill Camp, I was like, ooh, like I felt like, yay. And so it got really good reviews. A lot of people love it. It's a psychological thriller, and it's myself, Annabella Sciorra, and Bill Camp. Check it out. You'll love it. But getting back to you, I saw that you guys had a picture together, and I was like, of course. Like,
we're friends. We're friends.
Awesome.
So yeah, I'm actually, we were in, she was in Rome with her kids, and I went there and I met up with her. Yeah, I've known her for years, but so she was at the Sopranos Con, and I was sitting between Armand Asante and
Wow.
Michael Madsen, my table.
Yes.
You can only imagine the craziness. And Eric Roberts was there.
Wow. Oh.
No, I'm going to say this because he was such a jerk.
No.
Everybody, you know, when you're at these things, you go up to, you know, everybody. I did a
Of
movie with him. I did Pope of Greenwich Village, and they cut half my scene out, but I play the nurse to his father in this one scene, and he flirted with me the whole time, and he even followed me home, and at that point, when we got home, my roommate was there, and I was like saying, "Listen, my boyfriend's coming home. You got it. You go home."
Right.
And then he asked my roommate, "What are you doing?" You know, and then he took her out. So I reminded him of this.
Oh,
You did.
Actors.
And so then I said, and he said, "I would never follow a girl home. That's not me." I said, "Well, no, it was you then, you know." And he says, "Well, I must have been in character." And I said, maybe you were in character. And then he says, "So what picture do you want?" I said, no, you don't have to give me a picture. Let's do a selfie. And he says, "Okay, that will be $5.
Shut up.
That will be $5.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, so you asked me about SopranoCon. So then I said, "Oh, $5." I said, "I don't have any cash on me. You know, but if you come to my booth, I'm sure there's cash over there. So come over to my booth and I'll give you the $5."
You should have said, "Come over to my booth. It's $20 for a picture with me."
Yeah.
You know, but you know, I don't know why.
You actually owe me 15.
Right. I don't know why he acted that way, because none of the actors are like that. William Forsythe was there. He's a doll. Ada Turturro. They were all great, basically, all great. Lorraine Bracco. Lorraine Bracco. You know, she did the best because she's never done a con show. So they set up Dr. Melfi's
office.
She had like an office, like sitting on the couch.
And people would come in.
I love that. I would have paid for that.
I would have paid too. I need to sit across.
$100. But she was a doll. I saw her. I went in there and I said, and she said, "Come on, Saundra," and we hugged because she knows she was married to Edward James Olmos, who, you know, we did Vice with. But I also had Vice people come up to me, like, because they put Vice on my banner. You have to have a banner, you know. It's really nutty. And the fans are great, you know, and they follow everything, man. They were asking crazy questions like I couldn't answer. Like, there was one scene when Tony Soprano brings a package to us, Robert Lapone and I, as the Kuzmanos, and we're in the kitchen table and we're looking at it and we're like, "What is it? What is it? Should we open it?" You know, because it's the Sopranos. And
sure.
And he's like, and I go to just do something. He goes, "No, don't touch it, because we don't know." I mean, living with them,
it could blow up.
It could blow up. I don't know.
There could be a finger in there.
We insulted them somehow. You know, it was very funny that they remember all these details.
It's just like our daytime fans. They know it all.
Right.
Of course.
Yeah.
It all.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
It is. You know, I got to say, I was exhausted when I came back because you put out a lot of energy.
Sure.
But Annabella was there, so we got to hang, and it was just a lot of fun. I'll do it again. But you know, I want to go back to something you said about you didn't want to watch yourself.
Yes.
Paul. And I recently started watching Miami Vice episodes again. I never watched Miami Vice because, first of all, we were always working on Friday nights.
Yeah,
It was difficult to tape them.
And there were no DVRs then.
No, guys. You had to DVR and be like, "Can you tape this for
me?" Yeah, I had to rely on my family, my mother and father, to tape all the shows. But I still never wanted to watch it. I was so critical of myself. Oh my God!
What did you think? What did you think?
So I watched one episode yesterday with Roger here, and I said, let's watch this one episode. Let me see. I want you to tell me what you think. And it was called Blood and Roses with Stanley Tucci, and gangster. And I go undercover as a interior designer, and we've been trying to get this guy for like years or 2 years, and so. Edward James Olmos's character, he plays our boss, and he says, go undercover and, do what you have to do. So long story short, I have to end up sleeping with him. And there's this really, racy scene where he pulls my dress off. He pulls my dress off. And I'm going, no, Frank, no. And then it cuts. And Roger's like, why did they cut? I said, they cut to another scene. And I go, because this is, nighttime TV.
Television, yeah.
Show all that stuff then.
Not back then.
Am I right? You can watch.
Yeah.
I mean, it was enough that he tore my thing, and we had to have a set dress that would tear right at that point, and
tell me, did it have like shoulder pads and belts?
No,
it was all like,
no, this one didn't have shoulder pads because
that was the 80s for sure. It was not
allowed.
So I looked at
I still want her hairdo. I still want your hairdo.
So I looked at it and I went, damn, I was really good for my age at that time. I can't believe that I was so critical of myself. And because it's so new, like Guiding Light was new to you. Miami Vice was new for me, the whole television thing. And I can kick myself for not learning more about behind the scenes. Because we had some great, great, great directors.
Oh, you did. You had.
But that's the whole thing when you're in the environment at Guiding Light, wherever you are, we are. Me too. Even if I could have learned if you just sat there and you just watched. I learned watching you people act. Like it's amazing to see what and I know how hard you
it's
work.
A process, and it's good to know all aspects of it. So I think it's unbelievable that you're doing that. I wish I had done that.
Thank you. That means a lot to me, Saundra. It's funny because once so I did Guiding Light, and I would have stood on that show forever because I was very comfortable. Like I said, I really enjoyed the people that I was working with. I liked the storylines. And I think I could have stood there a while, but I decided to take a leap of faith, and I auditioned for a movie, and I got the movie, and it was the leading role, and I got it was called Clock Stoppers, and
I remember that.
And that's really the main reason why I left Guiding Light, is because I got that movie. And then very quickly got a 3-picture deal with Paramount. And I was like, this is it. I made it, And so, but I mean, Guiding Light taught me so much. It taught me politics of behind the scenes. It taught me to be really, that you have to be really disciplined with your words and what you're saying, and how to break down a script. Because the only way to survive on a soap opera is to really know your character really well. Because once you do that, once you really internalize, like, okay, this is my character, this is who I am, this is kind of like what they want her to do, then all those repetitive words start to stick. And I started to realize that. Yeah, I started to realize that. And then, once you, this took obviously longer for me, but once you do have that confidence that everything that's coming out of your mouth is right, sometimes you don't even have to say the exact thing that's written, and they don't even pull you aside for it.
Right,
like I tried to do it a couple of times, and they were like, well, you missed this word and you missed it, like they were nitpicking with me. But there were other actors that would kind of say what was written, and because they were so elegant about it and had such a force, and they were they would let it go.
They had more experience with
So I learned a lot from Guiding Light. I learned, and also Guiding Light was, for me, was like the 9 to 5 of acting jobs, which I really needed at the time, being a single mom. And I was down to my pennies and really living paycheck to paycheck, very typical actor in New York City, right? Waitress. I was trying to really only work the weekends so I could have Monday through Friday while my kid was in school to audition.
I would never have guessed that. You came very, very confident and first of all, I couldn't believe you had a kid. And
me neither. I remember meeting her in the green room.
Well, they told me to hide. It's funny. This was something that I have never spoken about as far as being on the soap. They told me to hide the fact that I had a child for a little while. Right. Because I was playing such a young actor in such a young role. Because on all the roles that I had played, pretty much, and even beyond Guiding Light, I was always playing 10 to 15 years younger than what I really was. And so, but yeah, I did have a kid young. I had my child at 17. But so they wanted me to hide that fact for a while. And then after
I remember a little about that.
There was conversations about it, and I was fine. I was comfortable with it at the time, because at the time, my real age wasn't really well known, and I had to play up to that persona of what I was being casted for, right? And so when Guiding Light started becoming like this more of a gig that was going to stick, because when I came in, I don't know if you know this, Saundra, it was kind of like a test as well. I didn't have like the big contract. It was kind of like, you're going to be on maybe 3 months. And then the 3 months would come around and it would be like, you know what, it's going well, maybe another 3 months. So I didn't have that sense of security that first year. The security only came afterwards. And it was still kind of very loose, the contract, which was, again, a good thing, because then I was able to leave when these other movies did start to pop out. Because had I signed like a contract like everybody else, remember, a lot of the actors only stood doing soap operas, or that particular soap opera, because the contracts used to be so like ironclad and very very crazy, right? So I also did not have that sense of security in the beginning, and it fed into that like insecurity. But I mean, again, like the whole experience of Guiding Light only fueled what I thought I was capable of afterwards. And it really was like a school, because I didn't have the traditional, when I started acting, I didn't go to acting school. I didn't have like the prestigious, theater program or any of those things.
You started young, and you were like,
oh yeah, I mean, I met an agent at a Thanksgiving dinner or something that my mom took me to.
Wow.
And she was like, you're really cute, you can make money doing commercials. And I remember going, it was an agent called J. Michael Bloom at the time. He was on Park Avenue South. And it was very fancy. And I remember going in, they took 15 Polaroids, and each Polaroid represented like an audition, right? They would send that Polaroid, because I didn't even have money for a headshot at the time.
Wow.
And out of those 15 Polaroids, I booked 10 jobs. And I basically booked my first 5 jobs. You know how I got my SAG card? I got my SAG card because I did a public service announcement directed by Martin Scorsese. And then I did an AT&T commercial directed by Spike Lee. And those two fools, and I call them fools because I never got casted by them ever again. But those two fools got me my SAG card.
But This was
This is
before
back in 1989. 1989.
89 before Guiding Light.
89. 89,
Baby.
yeah. And then I did a lot of commercials. I did New York Undercover. I did Law and Order. I think I even did like two different characters on Law and Order. I did like 4 different characters on CSI Miami. I did like a character arc on Law and Order SVU later on. Like I had done a lot of like the New York TV. And then I did a couple of plays at the Actors Studio, which I remember like the other actors hating me because they were all Juilliard and really like, you know, from all these like theater.
Wow.
And I was just like this kind of straight actor that was just like putting it, you know, kind of real. And I remember like loving it. And but yeah, I mean, I did it the old fashioned way. It was basically just auditioning in New York, and one thing would lead to another thing. One thing would lead to another thing. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody thinks that it's you know, I find that everybody now thinks that you go from A to Z, you know, like overnight, but that's not what it is.
No.
It's a process, and it's a lot of hustling, and you have to be on your toes all the time. You can't let one thing fall. I've let a lot of things fall because I'm a little lazy. I got a little lazy because part of me, you know, I have a love-hate relationship with the business. You know, I just don't want to go through the hoops. You know,
it's a lot of hoops.
It's a lot, and I'm like, just give me the job. I'll be there. I'm going to do it. I show up on time. I know, I'll do my own makeup. But, you know, don't make me go through all these hoops. I had to go through hoops. Early on, you know, I was supposed to be Pacino's sister in Scarface, and at the last minute, I also had like 4 auditions for this.
Wow.
And you get paid, you know, and for the whole cast, and Miriam Cologne. She was, you know, she played our mother, and we would sit at a table, we'd work through it. Then at the last minute, I don't know what happened, but the other actress got in there, and that was a big heartbreak for me. And
they made a mistake, in my opinion. They made a huge mistake.
I think I was more right for the role.
Of course.
But I went on to do Broadway. So, you know, you think
everything happens.
It would have been really impolitically correct today. Today, the Latino community would have had your back, Saundra. Right? They would have been, because Master Antonio is the lady that got it. Right? Master Antonio. She's a fabulous actress, but she was not Cuban. She was not the right actor or even the right sensibility for it, in my opinion. And you would have been amazing. It would have been completely
look more like Pacino in those days.
I mean, we obviously forgave Pacino not being Cuban, and he was awesome. Don't get me wrong, he was awesome. But I think today, you know, they would have even given, you know, and I mean like the community would have been like, look, we'll forgive Pacino, but his sister's got to be Latino somehow, you know. And you were a fabulous actress that was already known, I'm sure, and you were already doing your thing.
It was a big debate. But that's what I'm saying. The hustle is crazy, you know?
Yeah.
Ladies,
I am so sorry that I have to cut you off.
I know you do.
No,
I don't. I could let you talk forever, but this is like the one day I'm going into the city and I have to catch a train to get there.
Okay.
And I apologize because I would love
to
apologize. Stay here.
So this is live.
This is live.
Okay.
Yes. So I can send you the link if you want to watch it. So yes, I can't cut anything you said out.
I don't care. I'm 64.
I love you. I love you both. Thank you so much for doing this. I love you both. Paula, it is so good to see you. Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you, Alan. It was amazing to see you. Saundra, we need to reconnect personally, like, I got to get your info from Alan, please, Alan.
Yes,
I'll
yeah.
send
connect
it
us.
to you.
And
I
then
will.
I'm just so grateful to both of you to you know, to reminisce and go down this memory lane, which was
Yeah.
awesome. And
Good.
Saundra, I don't know, we gotta work again.
Find a
together.
project. You need to
Yes.
write it.
We can do
Yes.
something. We can do something. I'm not done
do it.
yet.
Good.
I know you're not.
Bye,
You better
ladies.
not.
My chops are
Bye.
still there. Okay, mwah, love you
Bye,
guys.
everyone.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Ciao,
Bye.
ciao.
Thank you so much, everybody. I'm so sorry to end this. I was having a blast. Don't forget to check out Paula's superhero character, Aluna. Do not forget, the link is up on the YouTube page, and check out on my blog all of the shows she's got. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you tomorrow, everybody. Bye.